Oh, yeah. What's up, everybody? Dan Campbell ain't playing with ya. Yo, we got some breaking news, man. Make sure y'all thumbs up the stream. I'm losing my AdSense for this one, but it don't matter. Johnny Morton out the door. Yo, listen. Now what goes up must come down. Y'all know how I go. What the hook gon' be? Johnny Morton out the door. Then ain't playing no more. Hey, yo, listen. This is a big deal. It's a lot of offensive coordinators that got open today. Cliff Kingsbury. There's some people we can look into. I'm going to tell you what this tells me. This tells me that our coach is not playing around. Johnny Morton might be a good guy, but this ain't nothing personal, big dog. We trying to win, homie. I told you, maybe we could bring him back in to fold some towels in the locker room, scrub the toilet. It doesn't matter. He said he would do anything for the team. Now he ain't with the team no more. Johnny Mo, gotta go. Ha. Yeah, I'm the best in the business. I don't care about the money when I do this. Listen. Shout out to Cody with the super chat said, who would you want to see as our new OC? We gonna talk about that, man. Yo, this is a big deal, man. This tells me that Dan Campbell is not playing around, and I can't wait to see what Brad Holmes does in regards to the roster. I know we signed some people as well, but it don't matter. They just 90-man roster people. You know, I really had to take a break from this team. That's why I've been making no videos. But this got me fired up. It's got me fired up. It should have you fired up. Yo, yeah, listen. Dan Campbell ain't playing with him. Dan Campbell ain't playing with him. He said it was going to be some change, and it is already. Now, think about this. The Lions ain't even been out the season for 2 days, and we fired the OC. What that mean? Who's going to be our new OC? I wonder who it be. Could it be Cliff K? Hey, is Kelvin Shepherd going to follow? I don't know. But I'm excited because this tells me that, remember now, Aaron Glenn kept his job a couple years ago because of the relationship to Dan Campbell. Johnny Morton is that same type of guy. Dan Campbell had enough. Listen, this tells me that these guys know the urgency and what they got to do. I'm going to show you something too, man. I think Brad is on the outside. I think Brad Holmes is on the outside. I don't think he's screaming no more. Brad Holmes, he may have to go. Uh-oh. What the hook gonna be? Uh-oh. Man, we need a new OC. Who is it gonna be, y'all? Put it in the comment section. Yes, I saw that John Harbaugh got fired as well. Johnny Morton sucks, but he's gone. Shout out to the wise man. Says, how about those Bills? Hey, NFL ain't playing, and our Detroit Lions are no different, man. We trying to come out swinging. And I like this energy from Dan Campbell because that means that Brad has to match. And I think that's going to be a big deal, man. We breaking news like this. Brian Callahan, it's a whole lot of choices, man. Taking y'all back to 2002, Murphy Lee. What the hook gonna be? Lions Syndicate with D. Yo. Oh, what's up, everybody? Oh, yo. What is going on, man? Breaking news. Johnny Morton is fired. He is fired. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. Hope you guys have had a wonderful start to the new year and you are enjoying your time away from the game. This is a big deal. So let's get right into it, man. Uh-oh. Lions need a new OC, man. We got breaking news coming out of the city of Detroit. You guys already know by now. Everybody tag me on Twitter. This is a move that we all expected, but did we expect it this soon? Johnny Morton has been fired from the Detroit Lions organization as his role of OC. It was a mistake to begin with. Now, I will kind of eat crow on this because I believed in Johnny Morton. Early in the season, I believed in him because we still had a decent offense. But when Dan Campbell decided to pull the play calling, that's when it was like, uh-oh, I might have to eat crow. Dan Campbell, Johnny Morton, I think that it was more than just the play calling. I don't think he ever had the team. I just don't. I don't believe he was ever that guy. These people have to have a relationship with these guys. They got to believe in what they're doing. And I don't think that even though we had the number top 5 offense. Like we were number 1 at times. We were up there. It just was something missing. Something wasn't gelling. But I wish Johnny Morton well. And I'm sorry somebody lost his job, but I mean, people lose their job all the time. And when you're making millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars, it doesn't sting as bad, right? But I will say this about Johnny Morton. He said that he looked like he was a team guy. He took a back seat. The writing was on the wall. He said in his what turned out to be his last press conference in Detroit that he was willing to do anything for the team. He loved it here. And I appreciate that. But what I appreciate more is the fact that our coach is not playing around. He is not playing around. Think about this. Aaron Glenn should have been fired. There's no doubt about it. I know some of y'all feel like Aaron Glenn, he did a great job and yada, yada. I don't believe he did. I think he was all right at best. He had great games, but he was all right at best. But one thing, if you guys go back to 2022, and our defense was the last in the National Football League. When all was said and done, it was the last in the National Football League. When we were 1-6, we started 1-6, and we fired R.B. Pleasant. What you may not remember is that according to ESPN, the Detroit Lions had their defense was so bad in 2022. How bad was it? It was so bad that it was trending statistically to give up the most points in NFL history. I'm going to say that again. In 2022, the defense was so bad of the Detroit Lions that it was trending, giving up the most points in NFL history on defense. Well, they wind up having a great end to the season, but the damage was already done, and they ended the 2022 season 32nd in total defense. Aaron Glenn should have been fired, but instead, Dan Campbell, and I love this from Coach, man. To me, this tells me that Coach wants to win, and he's taking responsibility and accountability for the mistake that he made in hiring Johnny Morton. I love this. In 2022, we fired R.B. Pleasant as a scapegoat. You know what Dan Campbell said when they had a press conference? He said, something had to change. Something had to change is what he said. In my opinion, he did not want to separate Aaron Glenn, the relationship from the New Orleans Saints. It was a relationship thing. And back then, you talk about coach was wet behind the ears. He still valued friendship over his employment. I don't think that's the case anymore. You see the hug between him and Ben Johnson. I'm telling you right now, there's no love there. They might not be beefing, but there's no love there. That's a guarantee. I assure you of that. As a man, I understand what no love looks like when it comes to other dudes. Pause. Don't pause. I'm 46. I don't need to pause. Anyway, so where we at here is that this tells me that our general manager is serious. Our coach is serious business. So he decided to, 2 days after the season was over, fired him. Okay? Fired him. Told him, you ain't got to go home, but you got to get the heck up out of here. This tells me that Dan understands the urgency in which this team needs to get better. And I love this. And I think that this is a slap in Brad Holmes' face. You know, we got to bring it back to Mr. Holmes. We got to bring it back to Mr. Holmes. It is a slap in his face because now we're going to see what is Brad Holmes going to do? How much is he going to try to make this team better? And now the pressure to me is on him. Dan already showed you, look, I'm going to stand on business. Hey, look, Dan is like, we might have got hired and came in at the same time, but they value me a little more than you because I got the bigger contract. All right. So I told y'all, man, something is brewing in Detroit, and this is a big deal. So my thing is, who are the Detroit Lions going to get? There's a few names that became available today. You've got Dable, you've got Cliff Kingsbury. He's going to be a hot commodity. The brother got fired and within 30 minutes had 2 interviews set up, and it was already out on ESPN. There's going to be some hot commodities out there that the Detroit Lions can get. And I think that we're going to get one of those. Even if it's somebody from a different team that may not be as big as those guys, I think it could be like maybe a rising individual that can call plays. I do not think it's going to be internal. Who is it going to be? I don't know. I think the Lions, specifically Dan Campbell, he might be done with this internal promotion stuff because it really ain't worked out. It really hasn't. So, I mean, Ben Johnson worked out and Aaron Glenn came with Dan Campbell, right? So this is a big deal for our team. It's a big deal. It's a statement by our coach. Our coach made a statement today that playtime is over. I don't got time for games anymore. We have to win games. We have to win games. And I need people that's going to help me get there and do that thing. So Johnny Morton fired. Breaking news. Everybody expected it, but I don't know if we expected it this early. To me, I thought, Dan, listen, look how important this is. Look, I want you to understand the bigger picture of what just happened. Dan Campbell on Sunday, he said, Sunday and Monday, yo, I have to think about this. I'm about to cook. Let me cook. Y'all think Brad Holmes cooking? I'm about to cook. Think about what Dan said. Ending the season on Sunday, 48 hours ago, the Detroit Lions beat the Bears. Okay? That happened 48 hours. As a matter of fact, 48 hours ago, we were still playing. Dan Campbell got up there, said we got to consider some things. Yesterday, we got to consider some things. So here's how bad and how ready Dan Campbell was to move on from John Morton. In less than 48 hours after our last game, he decided to move on. That might be one of the quickest moves that Dan Campbell has ever made. One of the quickest decisions. Took him no time to come to the conclusion that John Morton was a mistake. And I love this because now this is going to, again, put pressure on our general manager to do something similar. It's time to make moves. If you made a mistake, make moves. And I'm going to say something. I saw the new owner of the Indianapolis Colts, Irsay's daughter, and she came out with a statement. I saw a little snippet of it that it reminded me of Sheila a little bit. Came out and said, yo, here are the expectations. And we've been very clear with the general manager, Ballard, and Steichen of what we expect. Dan Campbell, think about this. He's in bonus time now. He earned his extension. He earned it. He's not in it yet. He still has one more year before that kicks in. He's earned his extension, so did Brad. But the shelf life, Raheem Morris, 2 years. 2 years, and he got canned. His second go-round as head coach got canned. All right? This is a big statement by our coach. I love it. Now he has to make the right decision. He has to make the right hire from now on, because here's what I want you to understand. Dan Campbell is very aware that he is on the clock. He is on the clock. He has 2 years left. And I think that, and this is no hate at all, if you go back and you watch the press conference, the locker room celebration, as a matter of fact, I took a screenshot of it, but I did not send it in, so I won't be able to bring it in this video, but you'll see it in the live stream, so go check that out. If you see it, to me, there seems to be a little bit of distance between Sheila and Brad. That's just my opinion. Brad is almost on the outside looking in. That's just what I picked up from it, from this one photo. Picture's worth 1,000 words. So now, Dan Campbell, and I think also the people that were hired today and the people that are in the coaching cycle, that Dan said, yo, we need to get ahead of this. I don't got time to wait. Ain't nobody got time for that. I got to fire you now so I can move on. If Cliff doesn't want to go here, maybe we can bring him here. If this guy doesn't want to go there, maybe we can bring him here. This is a big deal from our coach. He set the bar. He set the standard. Now we have to see, what is he going to do with Kelvin Shepard? Is there any other coaching changes he's going to make? And most importantly, what is Brad Holmes going to do? This now puts pressure on Brad Holmes to follow suit. It does, man. This is the first guy that the first coordinator that we fired. It was so bad before that he couldn't bring himself to fire Aaron Glenn, who should have been fired. Aubrey Pleasant was a scapegoat. I think this is kind of retribution for that, if you ask me. Dan Campbell knew what he did back then, but it worked. It got the team motivated. It worked. I'll tell you what, Jaden Daniels wasn't happy about Kingsbury getting fired. He wasn't happy. So let me know what you think in the comments below. I appreciate everybody who watches these videos, because this channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, and in about 8 months, go Lions. All right, what's up, everybody? Appreciate you guys being patient while I do my thing. Let me catch up with the comment section. All right, so I'm seeing why would we fire Shepard? I'm going to tell you why. All right? This is not like a marriage, okay? If you're in a marriage and you see you got your spouse and your spouse, you love everything about them or whatever, you know that your spouse loves you, and you might see the lady in red or the man in a suit and they look appealing, right? And you decide that you want to see what it's like. You got this happy marriage over here. You got everything you need, but you want to see what's over there. Never ends well, right? This ain't that. This ain't that. When it comes to Kelvin Shepard, if you have a proven commodity at defensive coordinator, you got to take it. You know why? Because you are out of time, ladies and gentlemen. This move here was this happened for a reason as quickly as it did. Dan Campbell understands the sense of urgency that is connected to winning. He understands that. And I'm going to show you. Look, I want to show you where was this? I think it was Twitter. Look, if anybody has the celebration, maybe it was on the Detroit Lions Twitter account. It was a couple minutes long. I need you guys to send me that celebration. I want to show you something that I think, in my opinion, says that this celebration and how everything was set up, I really do believe that Sheila is more fond of Dan Campbell than Brad Holmes. And this has nothing to do with like me. Brad Holmes, to me, is the one that I could see leaving and them parting with. What up? It's what's going on, man? Run defense dropped off huge last year. Yeah, when our players are healthy, of course, we have the talent. Remember, I knew Morton was going to be fired, but this is quick. St. Brown, that's what I think. Now, do you think that Kelvin Shepard should be fired? I honestly, I'm not for him being fired necessarily, but I understand that we are our time is running out. Now, let me ask you this. Who would you prefer, Kelvin Shepard or Robert Saleh? If you had a choice, who would you prefer? Right? I know who I would take. We need somebody proven. Now, in Kelvin Shepard's defense, he wasn't done any favors by Matthias. Matthias didn't do this brother no favors. He didn't. You lose Kirby, you lose Branch, you know what I'm saying? But your general manager sat on his hands at the trade deadline. He sat on his hands during free agency. He sat on his hands, right? You went and got Marcus Davenport. Look, I'm about to cook Brad Holmes. I don't care what nobody say, nowhere. He has run out of time. I have been patient. You guys have clowned me for year after year, and now I'm unhinged. I am uncontained. I am the bull out of the cage, bro. Because Brad Holmes, nope. Think about this. I want you to think about this. It doesn't matter that Zadarius Smith retired, because I think if he was here, he wouldn't have retired. But just paint this picture. Think about this. Brad Holmes said, as we were going into the 2025 season, you traded for, and it's the logic behind this that I want to point out, not the fact that Zadarius Smith retired, okay? Because y'all was ready to crown that fool the GOAT when he retired. Oh, Brad Holmes, he knew. See, no wonder he didn't get resigned. That ain't why he didn't get resigned. Because Brad Holmes didn't appreciate what he has, just like Al-Qadim Muhammad. Al-Qadim Muhammad, all of a sudden, he done bossed up. He said, yo, I'm going to go to where I'm appreciated, where I'm valued. Okay, big dog. So you got your career high sacks in a career year, I guess, and now you want to be paid as such. I don't know if that's going to happen here. But let's go back to Zadarius Smith. You traded for Zadarius Smith because you had to. You basically used him. You used him. The man was under contract for one more year, and here's what you decided to do. And I said this in my video before it happened. You decided to cut a man under contract for a man that wasn't. And that's all you need to say. That's the bottom line. You cut a dude that was under contract for a man that wasn't. And the dude that wasn't performing anyway. So what you did is you traded for Zadarius Smith to use him because you had no choice. And when his services were not required anymore, according to you, you cut him. and you decided to go with the guy who did nothing for your team. And it is not a coincidence, ladies and gentlemen, that Zadarius Smith signed with the Eagles 2 days after the Lions said we're good. That's not a coincidence. No issues giving AQM a team-friendly deal. Okay, mister, what people in, okay, Jamie, where did you put it? Did you send it to me? Is it in my Twitter? What would you guys call, because see, I haven't been over here. I haven't been on, but we've been, look, Syndicate Sports Detroit, subscribe to the channel. We live 4 days a week. Only day we ain't live is Thursday because I go live over here. We have in-depth conversations all for an hour and a half to 2 hours every day. Phone calls coming soon. We got the Send a Text hotline that's going to be open as well. What would you pay Al-Qadim Muhammad right now? What would you give him right now? Without cheating, what would you give him? And I'm going to tell you what his market value is. Who can we bring in as a new OC? Alex, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who the Lions have their eye on. But I know that this move was made out of urgency, because I feel like, to be honest with you, it could be Cliff. I feel like it could be somebody that's already in the coaching cycle. And what's going to happen is, because Kingsbury have got like 2 or 3 interviews for a head coaching position right after he got fired. Right after he got fired, within 30 minutes, he had some positions open that he was interviewing for, right? Now, okay, so would you guys take an OC and Raheem Morris? Raheem Morris was the Rams defensive coordinator when they won the Super Bowl. He also needs the pieces to work with. Would you get rid of Shep for Morris? Is there anybody that you would get rid of Shep for? Dern. I saw Dern in the building. He said, fire Shep. All right. So how many years for Al-Qadim Muhammad, and what's the payout? And I'm going to show you what his spot track market value is. Don't cheat. Don't cheat. And you tell me if you think he's worth it, because I'm going to tell you what I think. And I'm going to tell you what I think Brad thinks. So what would you want to do? Melodrama says, he said, I go where I'm valued. It's funny to me, dog. Not you, but it's funny to me. You have a career year. Hey, do your thing, big dog. You had a career year, but now you want to be paid. That's funny than the mug to me. That you better be glad. I guess you better be glad Marcus Davenport play hurt. But shout out to Detroit Lions on SI. I kind of skimmed through the article, but I think it's Christian. Christian Boer does not think that he's going to be back, and I agree with him. I agree with him that he is not going to return because the Lions may not give him what he wants. All right. Detroit for life. Yep, he didn't appreciate him disrespectful. I think Shep need another year, says 1021. 11 million. Okay, how much and how many years? Okay, 2 years, 16 million. AQM, 3 years, 6 million a year, worth 12 million guaranteed. My mom's Shep is a man that you would want on the team in some capacity. Well, he was the linebacker coach, so maybe you can give him another position. What up, Sergey? The dream is Vance Joseph, but he is with Denver. Okay, so check this out. Vance Joseph is also interviewing for coordinator job. Head coaching job. So he's not out either. But hey, Dern, we need some pieces for anybody who takes over. And that's why I don't want to put it all on Shep. We need some pieces to take over. As a matter of fact, let's get this Send a Text hotline going. I think it is. Let me look. I'm going to get it one day. You can call. If you call this number and you leave a voice message, I'll bring your voice message in. All you have to do is say, tell me your name and where you're calling from. Or you can text it as well. But listen, it's been a tough couple of days for me, y'all. I'm sure it's been like that for you as well. I needed a break. You know, every year I have to assess, is this something I want to keep doing? And not watching the team, but talking about the team every day. Because it's tiresome. And when you feel like the team doesn't value you, then you don't want to give it, like if they don't give you enough, why am I going to give my like the time I give to this team? Before we get off, I need to find this post-game show. If you sent it to me, tell me where you sent it. Okay, hold on. Send a text hotline. Okay. The number is It is 313-536. Okay, these are the numbers that were confusing me. 0544. I didn't know if it was 0455. You can call, leave a voice message, or you can send a text, and I will try to read as many as possible. All right, so while we're waiting on that to happen, here is the projected market value for Al-Qadim Muhammad, and you guys tell me, are you willing to do this, or do you think Brad is going to do it? The market value for AQM is, you guys ready? Now, I myself, I think this is too hot. This is too much for Brad's blood. 2-year deal, $8.2 million for $16 million. His current salary is 1.4. Because of his career year, this is what Spot Track has his market value. I will say Spot Track is usually right in the ballpark. So is this something that you're ready to do? Or do you see Brad Holmes doing the same thing? That's what I want to know. Give me Cliff and Salah. Well, I think Robert is fine and he's not leaving. The time to get him was last season. Y'all was clowning me for that, remember? Y'all was clowning me for that, bro. You know the 49ers went into week 18 with the least amount of sacks, but they were playing for the first seed. I still think sacks win it all. Sacks are important, don't get me wrong, but so is your personnel. So is your defensive coordinator. So that's a reason right there to get involved. Get a new Jim Schwartz. Jim Schwartz is intriguing. He is intriguing because the Cleveland Browns defense wasn't no joke. But again, ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't matter who our DC is. What matters is our personnel. That matters to me more. It really does, bro. Because if you look at unless it was somebody that is that guy, like Salah, do you think that Morris or Jim Schwartz would be able to take what we have and turn it into the top 3 defense? You know what I'm saying? Like, I love Hutch, but Hutch is not Myles Garrett. You know what I'm saying? He might not ever get there, but he gonna get close. I'll tell you that, because I know that he gonna work his tail off to get as close as possible. Todd Munkin will be the hire. I bet our QB coach is the next OC. You know what? That would be a mistake. That would be, if the Lions hire internally, I think that's going to be a mistake. We have the personnel, says Leo. Okay. Do you guys think that the Lions have the personnel to have a top 3 defense? Do y'all really believe that? That's a bad look on Shep, to be honest. All right, we got our first 2 texts. Shout out to AJ from Westland. Says, Brad will literally watch the team burn to the ground before he admits that guys he drafted are worse than free agents. He does this on purpose because if he brings in a Max Crosby or Myles Garrett, he's admitting that the guy he chose isn't good. And that, my friend, is called arrogance. And AJ, I bet you ain't too far from me, my brother. All right, we got shout out to Will from Grand Haven. Says, I'm very happy with Johnny Morton. I would be happy with Cliff Kingsbury as the offensive coordinator. Now it's time to release Davenport and any other free agents that didn't contribute to this team. Also, Brad Holmes needs to stop shopping at Dollar General and start shopping at Men's Warehouse. If Brad resigns Davenport, fire the man. Well, first of all, shout out to you, because Men's Warehouse is the only place I buy my suits. I've been buying suits from Men's Warehouse for probably the last 28 years, since I was about 18 years old. It's the only place I buy suits. I've never been to, remember, like, it was the Men's Warehouse and then like the suit warehouse. Never went to the suit warehouse. I only bought my suits from the Men's Warehouse. So yeah, absolutely. And as far as Marcus Davenport is concerned, I put this on Twitter. If Marcus Davenport is re-signed, Brad Holmes needs to be fired expeditiously. I'm talking about on the spot. All right, did anybody find me that video, please? If not, I will look for it. Brad and Dan hiring a project OC. I doubt it. First of all, this is Dan's decision. This is Dan's decision. So Dan understands, here's something that I am going to stick my neck out on. And I could be wrong, and that's okay. I don't think that happens. I don't think we hire internally. I think that Dan Campbell understands the urgency of this situation. I do. I also don't think he continues to call the plays. I think he did it. It was cool. He'd rather not. Okay. I don't think that the hire for the OC will be internal. I don't believe that. All right, let me check the line again. Okay. Whoever the 926 or 296, 269, I need to know who you are, bro. That's the only way we go. I'm going to read your text. I need to know who you are and where you're calling from. It can be state, whatever. It doesn't have to be like specifics. Edge and linebacker, safety on D and healthy. Grid, we have a better personnel than the Niners who had Warner and Bosa. See? Yeah, and I know that I don't really know much about their secondary. I know Fred Warner got hurt. I know, and he's about to play, right? He about to play for like the playoffs. And I know they lost Bosa, and Trent Williams is kind of aging out. So as far as Marcus Davenport is concerned, they don't need to be cut. They just won't be re-signed. They won't be re-signed. All right, let me check my Twitter. Let me see if they sent me this video because I want y'all to see this video, man. I don't know if I bookmarked it. I hope I did. I hope I bookmarked this because I want you to see. I want you to see. Dang, I didn't bookmark it. I wonder if it's on the Lions. Shout out to Slides with the super chat. I appreciate you. Jake Bates, 17th overall pick. Nope. Maybe it was on their YouTube channel. Okay, let me check their YouTube channel because it might have been. I want you to see. I want you to see this. But I saw it this morning and I took a screenshot of it. I'm not settling for regression. Hey, you shouldn't. Nobody in this, Shift says, I hope the Bears get Hendrickson. I mean, you know what's funny to me is that everybody agrees that the Lions that this needed to happen to the Lions. Everyone agrees. Everybody is saying the same thing, like maybe this is best. I mean, even Dan Campbell said it. And that's why when we hear Brad Holmes on Thursday, we will be live, but we're not going to. Dang, it's not here. Is it a short? Dang, bro, I took a screenshot of the video, and I think it's on Twitter somewhere, but I don't have time to find it. All right, so appreciate you, Matt. Matt from Centerville says, when Josh Sweat became a free agent, I was pounding the table. Now I'm thinking, who in this free agency is the caliber of Josh Sweat, and what will the price tag be of a player of that caliber? And that, my friend, is why a few years ago in 2023, I was pounding the table for us to get somebody. And we decided to not do a darn thing in free agency. We took Romeo Okwara as our opposite edge rusher, Aiden Hutchinson, and we decided that we were in a position to trade up for, say it with me, the 96th pick in the 2023 NFL draft. To me, that is when Brad Holmes, the villain, was created at that point, and he has been a villain ever since. Shout out to Slides with the super chat, says, I think Dan knew he was going to fire Morton before the season was over. I would agree with that as well. All right, I'm going to go on a quest. I don't know who. I don't know where this. I am so mad that I didn't bookmark whatever this was. I didn't bookmark it, but it was somebody. Man, I wanted y'all to see. I have the photo, but I wanted you to see. You know what? I will send myself the photo and then I'll bring it in. We demand a chip, as you should. As you should. I was chilling with my wife, chopping it up, and then I see Johnny Morton fired. And okay, where was? Oh, okay. Ha ha. Yes, I know where it is. I know where this video is at. I know where it's at. Thankfully, I know where it's at. Wait for the screenshot to capture. Okay. Let me see. It was from. Okay, dang, they got so many videos though. It is so many. But it's worth it. You got the stupid DOT people. A dude was. Okay, when was this? This had to be from yesterday. Okay, Taylor Decker. One day ago. Okay, you know what? Hold on, it might be in my history. Got a poach from D'Amico Ryan Tree. Okay, so who would you take? You know what? I think it's multiple options out there. Who would you take though? All I got to do is look through my history. I should be able to find it soon. Okay, so it wasn't under this channel. Was it this channel? Nope. Okay, it wasn't this channel. So was it under Lions Syndicate? I got like a whole bunch of channels that I switched through. We could try to get Matt Eberflus. Lori, that is hilarious. That is hilarious. Okay, Lions as they clean out there. Is this it? No. Ah. Dang. Okay, let me try one more channel. If it's not there, I don't know where it is. Nope, it's not there. But it could be the one. I really want y'all to, this video is important to me. I want y'all to see what I see and tell me what you see. So what about, I can't believe that John Harbaugh got fired, man. I mean, I can, but I can't at the same time. And I'm wondering if, well, Mike Tomlin ain't gonna get fired. He just kept his job. He kept his job with, okay, nope, which means it must have been this video then. Because I want you to see this. Okay, no to Stefanski. Isn't it funny though that the teams that were coach of the year, that they had coach of the year, they now are looking for they're looking for new head coaches. So Stefanski won it twice. And I think he robbed Dan Campbell both times. Dan Campbell was robbed both times. All right, this got to be it. Yes, okay, I found it. So it turns out it was the one I was thinking about. Okay. Shout out to Leo Jimmy with the super chat says, yo, Derek, Dan is my head coach. Say they hear us. Cut, trade, do whatever to all the hurt people. Get Radio Raheem, or Schwartz as DC. Get a killer on the edge through free agency or the draft. Get killers on the O-line. I appreciate that, brother. And I agree with you. But this is and this is why I think that firing John Morton this early in literally we could re-sign players yesterday. We did that. And we fired Johnny Morton the next day. That tells me the urgency that Dan Campbell feels, in my opinion. All right. Okay, this is it right here. And I'm going to let this play because I think that this is important. Okay. So, okay, yes, John Harbaugh got fired. He got fired. All right, so check this out. I want you to watch this video. We're going to bring the sound in, and I'm going to tell you what I see. I want you to know if you see something similar, or what is it that you see. Everybody can get their own interpretation from what I'm about to bring in. But here is what we did not get to see during the press or after the game on Sunday. This is the locker room celebration.
Lay it on the line when you say you're not playing for anything, but I mean, it speaks volumes, man. It really does. And what you guys are made of in the group, the core. And
okay, so real quick.
you know, I can't tell you enough.
Taylor Decker is done, by the way.
I appreciate what you guys do.
Okay, my computer's acting funny. I want you to see something. Now check this out. Look at this. Here's Sheila and her husband. I'm assuming that's, I'm her husband. Brad Holmes is all the way over here. He's right here. Now, that necessarily doesn't mean anything. But when we were breaking this down on Syndicate Sports Detroit, we only had a still shot. We didn't have this footage. Here's Sheila here. Sheila is okay with this man here. She is fine with Dan Campbell. You will see smiles coming from her. Look at Brad Holmes. Body language means a lot, people. It means a lot. His hands are either in his pockets or on his hips. Look at the distance that he is. Now, of course, I don't know. I wasn't there. But I think that this is a... Gabe says he's trying to hide from the camera. But I was a little concerned at how Sheila was looking at Dan. But turns out we just didn't see the whole thing. She's smiling right now. Watch this.
Into it, because I know it's not easy. I know it's not easy.
And I'm going to tell you something else. Dan Campbell's emotion is going to help save his job. Not to say that Sheila's going to be like, oh, because you cry all the time or you cry, you show emotion. Dan Campbell was the right guy. I believe that in my heart. I wanted to believe that they both were the right guys. But what Sheila sees, don't forget, Dan Campbell was hired first. Then Brad came in next. Dan Campbell had a 6-year deal. Brad had a 5. They just so happened to get along. But now I think we are going to start to see a separation between the two of them. I really, truly believe that. And I am convinced after this video, seeing this footage, that Sheila is perfectly fine with Dan Campbell. She believes in Dan Campbell. She always has. That's why he got the bigger deal. Okay? Brad Holmes, however, is the guy. And then you're seeing, and I'm going to bring in Irsay's daughter. I don't know her name, but, forgive me for that, but I don't know her name. I'm going to bring in what she said about her general manager and coach. And I don't know if Sheila is there yet, but I could see a situation where we move on from Brad Holmes. I can really see that. I was hoping somebody interviewed him. Okay? So Mr. says, don't let the smile fool you, dude. I disagree. Watch this. Watch it. This smile here is more, it says a lot.
To do that, what you guys did, that takes a certain type of pride and respect. It takes respect for the guy next to you, and I appreciate you guys. We won that game. We earned that game, right? And we can get into all this. The sickening thing is we're one play away from being in the playoffs, and then anything happens. Really, one play in any one of those games. But today, we showed up. We earned the win. We got it done.
All right, and there's the footage. But I wanted you to see the location, Brad Holmes. He looked like, we was all young at one point, right? We was all young, and some of us got kids now. And what did we used to do when we was young? And we did something, and we knew we was in trouble. We knew our parents knew about it, but they wasn't there to discipline us. They wasn't there yet. So then what happened? And we all did this. I ain't lying. Your parents come home, and you trying your best not to remind them that they supposed to be mad at you. You trying your best. You like, you ain't trying to. I remember it like it was yesterday. You won't come out the room. You scared to say hi. Hi, Dad. Hi, hey, Mom. How was your day? How was your day? Was it good? You never stop talking. You always talking, right? Brad Holmes, he looked like he that kid. He looked like he trying to stay out. You know what? Let me not make a lot of ruckus. Let me not draw a lot of attention to myself. Let me not do that because I know I done messed up. That's what I think. That's just my opinion on the situation. So that was the hypest intro ever. Holmes on the outside looking in. Agreed, Decker is done. I totally didn't notice that when I watched it. Yeah, his press conference was heartbreaking. His interview was heartbreaking. I felt so bad for him because that is a man who is done. That's a man who is done. He's done. To me, Taylor Decker is not coming back, and which will be a gift and a curse for the Detroit Lions, because I actually saw an article today, and I think Panay Sewell was asked about him moving to left tackle. So I think that that could happen. Okay, who is the best fit for OC right now? Look. We don't know. I don't know. I don't know who Dan is looking like yet. But what I believe is that it won't be internal. I could be way off, but to me, the urgency of this move says somebody better could be available, right? Just think about this. We stumbled across Ben Johnson. We brought in Anthony Lynn, okay? Don't forget, Dan Campbell's initial hire was Anthony Lynn. That was a disaster. So now the best thing that Dan has done outside of firing Johnny Morton is elevating Ben Johnson. Think about that. And that pains me to say. So right now, Dan has to make the smart decision. I don't think that's internal. This is the change. This is the change. Okay, Malachi, what did he say? Dern says Brian Dable is the best fit. I don't hear his name going around a lot, Dern, for head coaching positions. I might have missed it, but he could be a guy that they look at. Young says Sheila watches this channel. She's going to fire Holmes, all thanks to Derek. That would be hilarious. I promise you this: the Lions will never ever do anything for me. I don't speak good of their organization. What would you give? Would you give Tanner a call from the Jets? Nope. I wouldn't give him the call. You went over there with Ben Johnson. I wouldn't call him at all. I think Munkin could be an option. I hope he's not internal, someone who's been in an OC before and has success. That's why I don't think it's going to be, because again, they only have 2 more years. And I think the weight of that, the reality of that is kicking in. And I think that's why Dan made this decision. And I can't wait to see what Matthias decides to do. All right, so let me do this. And don't forget, y'all, so we talked Detroit Lions. We sprinkled in some Detroit Pistons as well. I've been watching some Piston stuff. So we will be talking about them as well. Okay, here's what I wanted to bring in. I have not seen this, so I'm watching it with you guys for the first time. This is, let me bring it over here. Is it that one? Yes. So this is the owner of the Indianapolis Colts. Her name is Carly Ursay Gordon, kind of like Sheila Hempford, I guess. And here's what she had to say to her general manager and head coach. And I think that this is, and you know what, too? I think that maybe, don't forget that Sheila was like one of the first women or something like that. Like Martha and Sheila were like one of the first women or only woman kind of owners. And I think that Sheila helped set the example of sometimes you got to be willing to pull the plug, get out the way. Sheila on the sideline, all of that stuff. She in the locker room, all of that stuff. So here's what she had to say.
We have been very clear with Chris and Shane that giving them another opportunity means that the sense of urgency for them to deliver and perform has never been higher.
Oh.
Chris and Shane are both capable of facing this challenge head on and finding a way to achieve the results that our fans deserve. We have been
Yo, now I'm gonna keep it a buck, okay? If she was talking to me, I'd be scared in the mug. I ain't even gonna lie. I mean, look, the eyebrows alone would have me shook. I'll be like, yes, whatever you say. I'm gonna play that again. And look at her face. Imagine if Martha comes out and does this. I'm sorry, Sheila. If Sheila, shoot, we need Martha. If Sheila come out and do, listen.
We have been very clear.
Very clear with the eyebrows raised. Like, this is it. This sounds like, to me, it's their last chance. If Sheila was to come out and do something like this, and we might see this in a year, we might, this might be the end of the road for Steichen and Ballard.
Chris and Shane, that giving them another opportunity.
Giving them another opportunity, which means that, hey, we gonna give you a pass because like this season was a wash. You came out hot. Everybody got hurt. You couldn't control that. But with the eyebrow, and I can't tell if they raised another. Okay, with the eyebrows, when they go up, she mean business.
Means that the sense of urgency for them to deliver.
That face right there, I'd be like, to the no. I would be like, ho. That face right there is about business. That face right there is about business. Y'all know I ain't lying.
And perform has never been higher.
Ooh. It's never been higher, which means this is it, ladies and gentlemen. Steichen and Ballard, you on your last hurrah. You better get us somewhere or you out of time, okay?
Chris and Shane are both capable of facing this challenge head on and finding a way to achieve the results that our fans deserve.
Yo, I love this. I'm not a Colts fan, but I love it. I love it. Another chance, which means you had a chance. I'm going to give you another one because I believe you're capable of doing that. However, I've been very clear of what I expect. So I'm telling you. Now, I don't think Sheila is to that point yet, but I think it could be coming soon. And I think it's going to be. And I'm going to tell you what the difference is going to be. The difference is going to be Matthias. When Matthias get in front of the media on Thursday, if he come out the polar opposite of Dan Campbell, he takes no accountability at all. As a matter of fact, we're going to react to Dan Campbell's and Brad Holmes' opening press conference on Syndicate Sports Detroit. We'll be doing that this week. I want to go back, and I want to see the two men that came in. I want to see if Brad Holmes, how different are they from now back then, right? I want to see, because we know they look different. I mean, I was telling my wife, I said, I would hate to be a general manager. Both of them guys have aged 10 years, and it's only been 5. But I want to see who were they then versus now. Dan stays, Holmes is gone. We keeping Brad forever, like it or not. I disagree with that. He's not going anywhere. Goff stays. If they fire Dan, y'all will see me lose my mind. I guarantee you Dan Campbell is not getting fired. Again, I don't know if any other YouTuber is telling you this, but there was a reason that Dan got a 6-year deal. How often do you see a coach get a bigger deal than the GM? You know who should be super fortunate today? Andrew Berry. Andrew Berry should be super fortunate for his job. He really should be. You could trade Myles Garrett. I'm not saying to the Lions. You could trade Myles Garrett and really rebuild that team. So, Stefanski got what was coming to him, and he did it to himself. But, I mean, and it all started from the Baker Mayfield thing, and he did the same thing. So, anyway, we'll see how that works out. Anyone calling for Brad Holmes to be on the hot seat is insane. Kool-Aid and cornbread. I'm not going to do this with you, bro. I'm not going to do this with you. There's no, I vehemently disagree with that. Adamantly disagree with that. You must call me Looney Tune, bro, because both cheeks should be burning hot. Both of them scorching. You should be able to smell flesh from them cheeks. Come on, dog. Look, I'm all out of bubble gum, Kool-Aid and cornbread. Okay. I will debate anybody, anywhere about Matthias. So if you want to do that, you can do it right now. You can call the ticket, the send a text hotline, leave a message stating your case. I will debate it right now. Right now. He absolutely should be on the hot seat. The warmer, the cheeks, he should be like, oh, man, these cheeks. Is the seat warmer on? You know how you get in the car, you be like, and then you look down and see the seat warmer? That seat warmer should be on, bro. This little dude, just a hater on Bradley Matthias. Who a little dude? You? You talking about you? You talking about you, bro? Yeah, that's funny. We call in for hot seats, not to be fired. Exactly. That's why, I want to distinguish. Bring Harbaugh and Lamar Jackson, trade Goff. Someone has to go. The moves during the offseason were sluggish and totally awful. I think AG, next Jets, be fired. A coach after season. Get him out of the chat. No. I don't kick people out because they disagree. I let them state their case. Bro, those Browns aren't raised. They are stuck. Goff has no trade clause, chat. Yes. Jared Goff has to agree to be traded. Grab a backup tight end and some O-line free agency. I mean, we got to do what it's gonna require both of those things. So y'all know what that means, right? He's a boiling frog. Let me see. Go get Chiefs backup QB, which is Minshew. The Chiefs backup QB is Minshew, right? So Sheila can show me she's a boss. She's a boss chick if she fires both Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. Okay, Juan. All right. Ticket text, brother. I've never heard your voice. You don't have to let me hear your voice. Send me send a text as to what. Wow. Hey, you know who I like right now? I like John Macron, because John is feeling some type of way. He put out, should Brad Holmes call John Harbaugh, and I'm assuming for OC? I know he ain't talking about coach, but I love the snarkiness out of John. I think Dan Campbell done glossed over him too many times. Keep Goff building O-line. Fire both Brad and Dan. No way, at least not now. Okay, so question. Do you think, and anybody can send me their explanation on the hotline that you see, that's the pinned comment. You can call, leave a voice message, or you can send a text. Okay, that's why I call it send a text. Shout out to the person that came up with that name. And we'll discuss it. To me, Brad Holmes absolutely should be on the hot seat. It should be at least not, it should be more, it should be uncomfortably warm. Nobody has said he needs to be fired. Nobody has said that. However, something needs to be done. It's his fault that we're here, in the good and the bad, right? You got to take the bad with the good. It's his fault that we're here. He absolutely should be on the hot seat. Whoever thinks Dan needs to be fired is crazy. I already see Lions fans hyping up what new center we signed. Oh, no. Michael, no. Those moves that the Lions made, if you haven't been aware, they signed some people to future reserves, and, we brought some people, I think Tom Kennedy and stuff like that, part of the 90-man crew. None of these moves are needle moving at all. The Lions did this to lock them up so that nobody else can grab them. That's what that means. Derek says this is ridiculous. What is? For real. And Brad has one more year after this season, but no, not now. Brad doesn't need to be fired. Okay, so that was you that came up with this in the text. Thank you, T. I appreciate you. I was thinking about it, but I thought it would be too corny, but I like it. I didn't think y'all would like it. All right, so let me ask you this, and this is why y'all need to call in to the hotline. Leave a voice message, whatever it is. Because I want to know, if you're not ready to fire Brad Holmes now, what would have to happen for him to be for you to be ready to fire him? For me, it is re-signing Marcus Davenport. If he does that, he should be fired on the spot. If he re-signs Marcus Davenport, he needs to be fired on the spot. I would take, you know what I would do? If I was Sheila, okay? Matt Patricia's ATV is still in the building. It's still there. Cliff Kingsbury is linked to be the Ravens head coach. That's crazy. And I'm going to tell you what, look, listen. I don't think the Ravens are going to part with Lamar, but if anybody wanted to get Lamar outside of free agency, this would be the time. This would be the time to grab Lamar Jackson. I don't want him, but somebody, I don't know where he could go. Put in the comment section where you think Lamar would fit in perfectly. But now would be the time. They got to go through something over there. All right. So we got a couple people. Shout out Tales from the Deep. Says, I know the feeling. I used to do that all the time. When I got in trouble in school or at home, I always hide in my room or downstairs when my mom comes home from work. Brad is feeling it already. Looking forward to Thursday for the fire coming at him, and for good reason. Can't wait to see what you do in the offseason. Best of luck. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you for the support and the call as well. We got Cody. Cody says, from Ken, shout out to my neighboring brother, says, I think we give Shepard at least one more year. He was working with scraps, and I think he has what it takes to take us there, but we need one more year to find out, really. unless, of course, someone who is a guaranteed veteran DC comes to the table. I agree with that sentiment. I think that, to me, he was already behind the 8-ball. All right, shout out to Detroit for Life that lives in Phoenix now. Let me see. Is this all from today? All right, so here's what we're going to do. If you got more than like 5 sentences, I need you to call and leave a voice message, all right? Or I'm going to shut this thing down because, y'all, this is way too much for me to read. It says Shepard has proven that he is not ready for the defensive coordinator position. He didn't adjust well, and now we are allowing 100-yard. Wait, maybe this is old. Is this old? This might be old. Okay, let Muhammad walk. That's way too much money. Yep, we needed a wake-up call for too big for our britches. So I think the first text was old. All right, so shout out to Stat Pat 35 says, how about we fire Holmes and elevate Dan to GM since he has the heart and soul, since he is the heart and soul of the team, then get to Kevin Stefanski or Harbaugh. I don't know, man. I like Dan Campbell. I think he's the guy. We got T from Michigan. Says, people in the chat saying women aren't good leaders need to grow up. Sheila is more than capable to make the right decisions, and I believe she is letting Brad and Dan know what she expects. Well, you know what, man? First of all, the first part, okay. The second part is, I think she's doing exactly that, and I think we might get to a point where it bleeds over into letting the fans know. Because what Carly Ballard or Ursay did is she let Shane and Chris know in private, but her getting in front of the media was for fans. The same way that Sheila popped up when we started 1-6. So I'm gonna tell you what, if Sheila does not extend Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell this year, then I think that tells you everything that you need to know. Pete Carroll, no. Rumor has it that he's going to retire. Pete should have never been, he should have never been hired. He should never be hired. All right, so Kool-Aid says, you're about my age, so tell me a general manager we had even close to as talented as Brad. A lot easier to get worse than Brad. Okay. So here's the thing. Look, I'm not going to go back in the Lions history and pull up guys. And I mean, whoever drafted Barry Sanders, and you had good and bad with general managers. Okay. For the thing that Bob Quinn did wrong is hire Matt Patricia. But even in hiring Matt Patricia, you still drafted Taylor Decker with Jim Caldwell, and you still drafted Frank Ragnow with Matt Patricia. But you went wrong. He was a lot of things. Jeff Okudah was wrong. He shouldn't have never, all that. So he did a lot wrong. But what he did right was essentially hire Matt Patricia. Okay? Here's my point. It is not about being a better general manager. It is about being the best. We need the best version of everyone. And that's what Dan Campbell said. Dan Campbell said we need the best version. So when I say that Brad Holmes should be on the hot seat, I think he's earned the hot seat. That's what I think. Should he be fired right now? No. His chance at redemption from the mistakes that he made, like Broderick Martin and drafting or trading for Donovan Peoples-Jones and cutting Zadarius Smith, those things, he needs to be held accountable for those things. We praised him with the trades of Jamison Williams, and when we traded, all that. He also signed 9 players to $1 billion. Locked up our cap space is very minimal now. Signed Jared Goff, the man that everyone hates or loves to hate, to a contract and gave him a no-trade clause, which means that Jared Goff can only be traded if he wants to. Brad Holmes did all that, like it or not. I don't mind it at all. I don't think Jared Goff is a problem. And if he is a problem, he's the least. He's literally at the bottom of the list of problems this team has. Number 1, offensive line. But that wasn't always a problem. But it became a problem thanks to Brad Holmes. You let Zeitler walk. You knew Frank Ragnow was on limited time. You didn't do anything about it. Here's a great example. Tyler Linderbaum. He is a free agent unless he is tagged by the Baltimore Ravens. His season is over. He can't be signed until tampering period. His market value is not cheap at all. Okay? Is that something Brad Holmes is willing to do? You can't really name too many free agents that were signed that broke the bank. And now you done broke the bank on people that you drafted or traded for, and now you're stuck. So Brad Holmes, you missed with Broderick Martin. You missed with Ennis Rakestraw. You missed down the line. Check this out. Ahmed Hassanin is a 6th-round pick. However, he did not take a snap. And Brad Holmes was like, there's no doubt that he'll be back. So when did Ahmed get back? Week 10, 11? Why didn't he take a snap? Not one during the NFL season. So it's not about being who's better. It's about who's the best, him being the best version of himself. I want to believe in Brad Holmes. I do. But he's giving me reason not to. That's it. That's all it is. Because another general manager can come in and be goofy, and then that'll fall on the Lions. If the Lions hire a general manager, that falls on them. If the general manager makes the draft picks, that falls on him. If Dan Campbell hires Johnny Morton, that falls on him, right? So that's what I'm saying, bro. I'm not saying, and I don't know about y'all, but I don't know when my life is ending, but I know every year I get a little bit older. And turning 46, I don't want to see 57, 65, 68, and I'm still talking about pass rushers or no Super Bowl. That's not something I want to see. Stop all the Brad excuses. We really missed the playoffs, and y'all saying Super Bowl, Super Bowl, Super Bowl. You know what? I knew that we were in trouble when the Lions fans were talking about dynasty. I knew we were in trouble at that point. I'm Brad out. Brad's draft the players. That's it. Exactly. Let me see. Round six bust. Draft a center and edge rusher, then hit in free agency is simple. Okay, Jay Smooth. Give me what you think that the Detroit Lions are going to do. Like, what would you prefer? Okay, so Taylor Decker retires. That saves us some money. Then you got to restructure golf. That's going to save us some money. Do you do Panay? Do you do Amon-Ra St. Brown? Because if you do golf, you might have to do them too a little bit, right? So then you do that, okay? Then what are you going to do? Amik Robertson has to be resigned if you want him to come back. There's a lot. Brad got a lot of work to do. And I'm actually excited about the offseason because Brad did all that talking. He did all that talking, and now he is going to be under the gun. Brad Holmes is going to be under the gun, bro. I want to show you something. Y'all remember this? Oh, no, okay. It was a tweet that I made. Okay, where's my Twitter account? And I think it was the last tweet that I made. All right. Y'all remember this moment? This viral moment? I'm going to let it play a couple times. It's only 8 seconds. All right. This here is when the villain Holmes was created. The villain, Brad Holmes became a villain between drafting Jahmyr Gibbs and this game. This was the conclusion of his villain arc. I think that this is hilarious. This is him screaming in the elevator after we beat the Kansas City Chiefs to open the 2023 season. And he's screaming like a lunatic. A lunatic. At first, it was cute. It ain't. Looking back at it, it ain't. And the people in this elevator got me rolling. This dude right here, I don't know who he is, but he like, I'm over it. This guy is like, I'm over it. This part is when, okay, so Brad Holmes, between Agnew and Holmes, this is the moment right here. I want you to look at this moment. That face right there, you know what this is? This is the face of, y'all tried to tell me, I know what this face is because I make it. I make this face. This face is, you told me that drafting Jahmyr Gibbs was the wrong decision. You told me that about positional value. You told me, and this is this whole sequence after he stops yelling is him saying, I do this. I do this thing. That's what this is. I know because I make this face. I know because, and you probably make it too. You hit the game-winning shot on somebody. You know, you roll up on them. That's the face you're going to make. I know because I make it. I make that face. You make it too. So, Brad think he does nothing wrong. That's the problem. That's the problem. Brad is a great general manager. Is he? Is he? Hey, I got rid of the number on the screen. Brad is a great general manager. Okay. All right. Let's open up the phone lines. Let's open up the phone. We're going to open up the phone lines. I want you to call in and tell me why you think he's great. Let me try this. Only one person can call at a time. Let me see if this works. Let me see if it works. I know Jay Smooth. Hey, and you know, I'm a brother. Brad's a brother. We both brothers. I know how brothers move. That's it. I know what that face is because I literally make that face. Y'all remember the viral clip? Oh, you mad because I'm styling on you. You can get to something and the dun miling on you. You can see it. I know what this means. And then the rock back and forth is saying, you tried to tell, look, and then Disner grabs him almost like he's trying to hold him back in the elevator. It's almost like he's yelling at whoever is holding this camera. You tried to tell me I didn't know what I was doing. You tried to tell me that I messed up on Jahmyr Gibbs. This is the face I make. And I know because I make that face. All right. So I want to open up. We're going to open up the phone lines. How long we been on? All right. We're going to be on for a little while more because we in the off season now, baby. We in the off season. And I hope this works. I don't know what it is, if it is. If it still works. All right. I don't know how many people we got in the chat. But we're gonna open up the phone lines. And the discussion that I want to have is, should Brad Holmes be on the hot seat? Aaron, yeah, Jesus Christ, he died for our sins. I appreciate you bringing that up. I really do. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you go to pray to Jesus in timeout. That's what I'm going to do. I heard Omaha Steaks is pretty good, so you might want to go over there and subscribe to a subscription from Omaha Steaks. All right, so like I told you, man, everybody gets smoked. I'm a rage baiter. I'm right, bro. You a rage baiter. That's funny. Okay. Matter of fact, calls will be sent to voicemail while on Do Not Disturb. Okay, let me take Do Not Disturb. I'm gonna cut that off, and then I'm going to put the number in the chat. 0544. Okay. All right. Call this number, and we'll have a discussion. Look, he got the wrong. Hey, I'm about to bring the ghetto out for me, bro. I'm about to get ghetto on y'all. Y'all think because I ain't talk like this and I wear these glasses, bro, I can't get wicked. I'm gonna get raw. Phone lines is open. Why should Brad Holmes not be on the hot seat? I'll leave it open for 5 minutes. Nobody call, we'll get off. New profile pic inspired by you. John, you are a fool, bro. You are a fool, man. As a manager, your bonus and even contract can depend on results. Phone line's real quiet. Sun's getting real low. I even took my phone off Do Not Disturb. All right. All right, let me see. Give me a second. Okay. Yo. Hold on. Don't hang up. Don't hang up yet. Oh. Oh, okay. Hey, yo, call back. I'm using a different system than I used before. That's why. Because I want to see how this one works. We'll use this one for. All right, whoever that was, call back. All right. All right, hold on. All right, who we got on? Are you there? Dang, bro. So it doesn't work with this? Is that hold on. Am I still hooked up? Dog. All right, hold on. Don't call yet. Don't call. I want to see some. Hold on, y'all. All right, did y'all hear any of that? I used a different software, Lori. That was working with this, but then this one wasn't. This one isn't. Maybe it doesn't work with. It's hooked up. Did y'all hear what I was just doing? No? Okay. All right, so that means that okay. All right, so that means that it's not compatible, obviously. Okay. Don P. This is Don P, Motor City Cats, right? All right, let me see if you can hear the voicemail. All right, let me see if this works.
What this Norm from Dearborn Heights. Hey, I'm just saying, I know nobody wants to hear it, but a pass rush, we got the pass rush. If a pass rush made you cold,
Look, hold the calls, y'all. Don't call yet. Hold the call. It works. Don't call yet.
what this Norm from Dearborn Heights. Hey, I'm just saying, I know nobody wants to hear it, but a pass rush, we got the pass rush. If a pass rush made you cold, I mean, look at New York Giants, look at Brian Burns, look at Cleveland. They be cold too. Right now, what I think we need is we need to put it all in on the offensive line. If you put it in all in on the offensive line and you have just an average subpar defense, which if we get just even average safeties in, we can do what we were aiming to do in 2024 and outscore other teams. That offensive line is so crucial and critical. I think people are forgetting that compared to a defensive line. Yes, a defensive line is critical and it makes your cornerbacks better. But I think right now, I mean, I don't know. It's all over the place. We got to like give and take. Like, we not going to have a shutdown defense, because if we put all in on a shutdown defense, I mean, look at what we had. We had some good defenders, but you know, people keep getting hurt, and then our offense falls apart. We got the weapons on offense, and we got to use them while they're in the prime. I mean, I don't care what nobody says. Gibbs, Montgomery, Tesla, Amon-Ra, you know, Williams. They're all edging on their prime right now, and we got to use that to our advantage before, you know, either they want money, more money, whatever, get traded, walk out, get too old, you know, whatever it is. But I'm saying the offensive line right now. And then for an offensive coordinator, we need somebody that is young and ready to, you know, call plays with the times, because whatever Johnny Morton was doing, his old high school football weird, you know, just run up the middle, screen pass bullshit from the 80s, that's not working. We got to have somebody like
enough.
All right, do me a favor. If you're listening, do not call. Do me a favor. Don't call while you hear somebody, okay? We finally got it to work, but this person left a message, so don't call just yet, all right? Don't call if you hear, because these are both using the same thing. Appreciate it.
And then for an offensive coordinator, we need somebody that is young and ready to, you know.
Unknown caller.
Dog. Okay, listen. Everybody watch it. Place. Okay? I'm trying to bring in, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to, look. I was hoping y'all call in real time. All right, but we were trying to get the system to work. Now it works, okay? Do not call yet. Don't call yet, okay? Do not call yet. All right, let me finish. He got like 40 seconds to go, and then I will tell you when it's okay to call. This system is different than the one I was using. This one is whoever calls first, okay? Let me get through this, and we'll open up. The discussion I want to have, and I appreciate the voicemail comment. I want to have a discussion about why should Brad Holmes be or not be on the hot seat. That is the discussion I want to have. But if there's some other things you want to say, then I will open this line up. You can leave me messages and I will try to integrate them into live streams or videos, okay? All right, so let me get through this, and then I want to have a discussion about Brad Holmes being on the hot seat. That is the discussion I would like to have, but let's get through this.
Call plays with the times, because whatever Johnny Morton was doing, his old high school football weird, you know, just run up the middle, screen pass bullshit from the 80s, that's not working. We got to have somebody like Ben Johnson, like either somebody young or somebody willing to experiment and know how to use those weapons. And then lastly, I mean, Lamar Jackson needs to come to Detroit. I don't care what nobody says. Jared Goff, I love him. But if you're going to be doing all that stuff where you're throwing passes to Jared Goff, I mean, if you're going to throw a pass to a quarterback, you need an athletic quarterback. That's all I'm saying. So Lamar Jackson all the way. I mean, I would take it. But right now, offensive line.
All right, appreciate the call, my man. And so let me, don't call yet. Do not call yet. Let me kind of address something that he said about the pass rush. And I hear you. And you mentioned the teams that you mentioned that they would be like winning, right, with those things. The thing that I see is, and I agree with you about the offensive line, but I also see the fact that these particular teams have, the offense is very limited. Now, I can't remember all three teams that you said, but I know the one that sticks out is the Giants. When you have Jackson Dart throwing for 2.5 yards, like, you have a problem on offense. Scatterboo got hurt, right? Malik Neighbors got hurt. Who knows where the Giants would be if they had an offense? I think if you took the Detroit Lions offense and you put it with the Denver Bronco defense, I don't think anybody could beat us. And that's with Johnny Morton calling plays. So there are a few more voicemails, but now that we got everything working, okay, we are going to, we're going to, excuse me, I'm sorry. We're going to take a few calls. All right. So, and as far as Lamar Jackson is concerned, look, I'm not mad at him for that. I don't see it happening because you got the no trade clause. The only way that could happen is if you did a player for player swap, and the Ravens would be, it ain't no way the Ravens are going to trade Jared Goff or trade Lamar. So, I mean, that's like me wanting Myles Garrett, but I do get it. Okay. All right. Motor City, hit me up, bro. Hit me up. We'll be on for another couple minutes. Let me see. So the conversation that I want to have is, should Brad Holmes be fired? All right,
to accept, press 1.
We already accepted. All right, what up, though?
What's going on, D?
What's up, man? Who we got on the line, bro?
Nothing much. Just everybody love Don.
Don, what up, man?
What's going on with you, man? You all right?
I'm good, man. So what's the word? What you giving us today? What you calling for?
All right. So obviously we need to, fix our O-line. And I see that they probably have Penei Sewell going to left tackle possibly. My concerns is what they're going to do at center. Are they going to draft one, or they're talking about possibly putting Tate Ratledge there, and I don't know how I feel about that. But I think it'll be easier to fix our O-line, but I still have my problems about the pass rush as well, so I'm with you on that one. I personally think that we need to restructure some contracts, and this is just my opinion, sign Trey.
Okay.
What do you think about that?
I like that, bro. Let me look.
I think we should.
Go ahead, man.
I think, or because, well, if you think about it, there's no elite pass rusher. And plus, I don't think we should trade for anyone. We can't afford to give away any draft picks. I think being that he's older, we could probably get him cheaper because he's also injured. And he's a free agent. We don't have to give up any draft picks. I think we should try and sign him.
Okay.
That'll kind of eliminate most of our problems. Sorry.
No, you go ahead. There's a little bit of a delay because of the Bluetooth. I'm going to see if I can hook this up a different way next time. But, hey, Don, I appreciate your call, man, and for rocking with the channel as well.
Hey, no problem at all.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, please, if you hear someone talking, do not call. Don't call. It interferes with everything. The previous system I was using was a way to put you in order and take your calls one at a time. Now I can only take one. If you see or hear somebody on the line, do not call, please, and thank you. Shout out to Don. I appreciate you. And if you guys got something to say, it's all right. I would like to keep the conversation about Brad Holmes, but I don't think I've had the phone lines open all season, so I understand if you have a lot to say. So Don was talking about the Tate Ratledge as center and stuff like that. I don't know if I like that either. I feel like some moves have to be made. They have to be made. All right, so we got somebody calling right now. Let me take this call. All right, we on the line with my brother. What's going on, man? Let's keep this about Mr. Holmes. Should Brad Holmes be on the hot seat? Yes or no? And give me why yes or why no.
He was on the hot seat last year, in my opinion.
Oh my God! Hold on, bro. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Please do not call. Stop it. I'm gonna take the line away. If you hear somebody on the line, do not call. Okay. Can we please cooperate? And yes, I need people to do this. I cannot take call. I can, but then it would mess everything up. All right. When somebody is on the line, do not call. Please, can we do that? I'm not using the same system I was using before. Okay, now let's get back. All right, bro. All right, so Brad Holmes, you were telling us why he was on the hot seat last year.
Oh, yeah.
Look, he was on a hot seat last year after he was after that NFC championship. Well, he was feeling all cocky. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, I can't do no wrong. And I know he's dealing with injury and stuff, but going 15-2 and you've been the attitude that you continue to have, no, you was on a hot seat last year for me. So, you keep ignoring certain things that we needed, like things like the pass rush. And like you said before, one of your videos, now we in a situation where we need more than a pass rush now. Now we got to focus on other things like revamping the O-line and still trying to add another edge rusher to help Hutch. So, yeah, he's definitely on the hot seat. Look, I don't really care. I know his press conference like is tomorrow or Thursday, but I don't really care what he got to say. I'm all about action now. And I respect the fact that Dan, he tired of the BS too. So Brad is definitely on the hot seat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, if he not changing, bro, like he signed people like, if he keep being conservative, you know what I'm saying, with the free agency and draft picks, bro, I'm with you, bro. You could cut him right now. I don't even care because at the end of the day, long we got Dan Campbell, I feel like we're going to be good regardless. So y'all could keep all that stuff. Y'all want to blame Jared Goff. Jared Goff is second in the league in passing and touchdown. I ain't trying to hear all that. As a GM, you're supposed to bring the right pieces around your quarterback. If you know that he can't get out the pocket when he needs to, you need to beef up the O-line. That's your job. I ain't trying to hear none of that. I'm sick of Lions fans trying to blame quarterbacks. You know what I'm saying? Blame the man that's in charge. So, yeah, that's all I got to say, bro. Lions East, man. That's my new YouTube channel.
Hey, shout out to Lions East, man. As you started talking, I was like, your voice sounds familiar. Shout out to Rob, bro. All right. So, I why am I getting annoyed with the beep? Because it interrupts. That's why. That's why. The other system was perfect. Now, okay. So what will have to happen is we will have to go strictly to voicemail. Okay, where I play voicemails. If this continues to happen, we just gonna take voicemails. All right. So if anyone wants to call and you tell me why we are not why I want to know, should Brad Holmes be on the hot seat? No way. Yo. Malachi, I see you, bro. I see you, and we gotta pause this. Dog. Oh no. Yo, this is crazy. Yo, we got breaking news from Ian Rappaport. Oh my God. Whoa. Yo, hold the phone. All right, hold on. The calls, no more calls. No more calls. What we'll do is we will start taking calls on Syndicate Sports Detroit tomorrow. Okay, make sure y'all subscribe to the channel. I will try to call, open it up. All right, if you want to send a voicemail, do that. But we got some news, bro, and this news unfortunately takes priority. I don't know how to feel about this. And yeah, dog. You know what? Y'all been fiending for this phone line. Y'all been fiending, bro, because you won't stop calling. I'm putting my phone back in Do Not Disturb. I'm putting it back in Do Not Disturb, bro. Oh, my God. All right, let me bring this back over here. Yo. Okay. All right. Well, we out of time. Oh, my goodness. All right, check it out, y'all. Hey, okay. Dan Campbell fired Johnny Morton 2 days after the season, and I just got finished singing his praises. Now, this does not mean that this is going to be the case, and I don't know how I feel about this, but I'm a wee bit concerned. And this could be two things, but we got some breaking news. The Lions, we were talking about going outside of the organization and not remaining or filling things with the inside, from the inside. I'm conflicted about this. We got some breaking news. The Detroit Lions, according to Ian Rappaport, the Lions have started off their OC search with an intriguing name, David Blau, a former Detroit Lions quarterback. Blau was the assistant QB coach with the Commanders, but did the QB coach job after Pritchard left. A sneaky hot name. No, Ian Rappaport did not put in the sneaky good. You ain't do it, bro. We only got one sneaky good people on YouTube, and I can't stand them. And watch them put up today a sneaky good move. I can't believe this. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm conflicted. I am tremendously conflicted right now. I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know. I mean, when we talked about going outside the organization, is this what we was talking about? David Blau, a Matt Patricia holdover? Now, I will say this. Nobody knew who Ben Johnson was either. But I am intrigued is not even the word. When you are in a year that you are coaching essentially for an extension of your job, and I'm not saying that David Blau, of course, this is just the beginning. There's a lot of other processes and names. But the fact that David Blau is a name, I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know if I should be intrigued or angry. I don't know if I don't know how I should feel. You just came, your offense was ranked in the top, but it wasn't consistent. Johnny Morton was a failure. So far, and I'm getting a little concerned because I just sung his praises, but there's something I want to point out as well. Dan Campbell has not really made the right coaching hire for offensive coordinator. You did it with Anthony Lynn, you fired him. You did it with John Morton, you fired him. You elevated Ben Johnson, who was already there. Now, that counts as a hire, but he was already in-house. I don't think the Lions need to go in-house, but I don't know how to feel. And look, I told y'all, bro, I'm calling cap for everybody if they cap it. And I really think that Ian Rappaport watches sneaky good moves. That's crazy. A sneaky good move in what? A sneaky hot name. A sneaky hot name, bro. David Blau has zero. What are we talking about? David Blau is a sneaky good move? A sneaky hot name? In whose world? In whose world is David Blau a sneaky hot name? Was it in your world? Is it an alternate timeline? I mean, maybe. Again, I don't know how to feel because if this how we starting out, how are we going to finish? Yo, this is crazy. This is crazy. David Blau, if you are just now joining the live stream, because this is an insert from that, the Lions have started their offensive coordinator search with former Lions quarterback David Blau. He was the assistant QB coach with the Commanders. Again, I don't know. I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel. But the thing that got me was a sneaky hot name. Where? Why? How? Who? When? What? What are we talking about? David Blau is a sneaky hot name? And see, this is what I did not want to happen. Now, I'm going to be very transparent here. I don't know if David Blau is the right choice. I don't know if he's any good. I have no idea. But what I was afraid of is the in-house thing. And if you used to be a Detroit Lion or you used to work for the Detroit Lions and then you come back, that is just the same to me as being an internal hire. It's the same thing. And when you fire Johnny Morton, who had spent some time with the organization under this current regime, and you're doing something very similar, even though it's an interview, I am a little bit concerned, and I will voice those concerns. Yes, this might be an overreaction, but hey, that's what I do. That's what I do. I react, I overreact, and I hit it on the head sometimes. So let me know what you think, man. The Lions, 2 days after their season ends, brings in David Blau as a potential offensive coordinator candidate. I don't know how to feel. I need to know how you do. All I'm saying is that if this is the wrong, Dan Campbell, just like Brad Holmes, cannot afford to make a mistake. He got a little more leeway. And well, in my opinion, he got a lot more leeway than Brad Holmes. But if you hire if you get this hire wrong with the way that the defense is, okay, because you could argue that the Detroit Lions haven't made the right decision, period. That the best decision Dan Campbell made was elevating Ben Johnson. That on both offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. Right now, the jury is still out on Kelvin Shepard. And y'all know how I feel about AG. To me, AG was overrated. That's just me. To me, AG should have been fired in 2022, but it was Aubrey Pleasant instead. I was just saying that that this was a big deal, that firing John Morton was a big deal. And yes, I could be overreacting, but as a Lions fan, I don't think there's a thing. I don't think overreacting is a thing. Dan Campbell cannot get this wrong again. He cannot mess it up. David Blau, the fact that he's being interviewed is concerning to me. And this is real. This is legit. It came from Ian Rappaport. The fact that he is, and please don't do with the sneaky who? Stop it. This channel is made possible by viewers, subscribers, and members just like you. It's because of your support I get to do what I do. You could be anywhere else on YouTube, but you choose to rock with me. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And this is a hair scratcher. And as always, go Lions. What? Yo, what is happening, y'all? I mean, okay, all right. Yo, okay. Here's what we're going to do. We are going to... Wait, who is David? Who is David? We are going to... This was meant to be, okay? This is what I needed to jump off the new content. All right. So I would like to announce that we are going to start a members only live streams. Okay. You don't have to become a member. For those who that's already members, we're going to start those probably once a week. Okay. We'll be on and, you know, we'll find some way to do that. I want to be able to start a community off YouTube. I don't know how to do that just yet. My son uses Discord. I know a lot of old heads don't really know about Discord, but I'm trying to figure that out. The voicemail line is open. You can call it at any time. It does not disturb me. You can leave a message. I will, if it's good enough, I'll bring it in some videos and some live streams. Okay. I just need you to tell me your name and where you're calling from. So you could say Derek from Michigan or whatever. You don't got to be specific and give me your address. All right. Don't do that. But we're gonna jump off. This was meant to be. We got to jump this content off. Y'all need an outlet. I'm here to give it to you. I told you, man, y'all need a better class of Detroit Lions content creator, and I'm here to give it to you. This is crazy. So I don't know how to feel about this. I don't know. I wanted to focus on Brad Holmes, and I still want to do that, but I just got thrown off. Okay. So we've been on for, almost 2 hours. All right. So what we're going to do for the next 15 minutes, let me take my phone off Do Not Disturb. For the next 15 minutes, we are going to take phone calls, okay, with the number listed above. You can use that number. Please, 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 just one call at a time. If you call, make sure your TV is muted or your device is muted so there's no echo. All right. The number's on the screen. I can only take one caller at a time. This is crazy. And I liked David Blau when he was here. I thought the story was sweet. Yo, David says, how about Trinity Benson for receivers coach? Yo, I'm glad you brought him up. He is the forgotten name. Y'all remember Trinity Benson? I do. Y'all probably don't even know who Trinity Benson is. Who knows who Trinity Benson is? All right. We got a call. Now, the caller, there's going to be a little bit of a delay. All right, so I'm going to screen you first, and we'll go from there. All right, so we got Malachi in the building. Met this gentleman at one of the games, the Michigan Panther game. Man, what's up, bro?
What's going on, man?
You tell me.
So yeah, I'm gonna talk about Brad for a second. Personally, a new fan. I only got into football within the last few years, so might not be too relevant. But I personally think he'll be on the hot seat just because he didn't do too much with the trade deadline. There's a lot of opportunities that we could have gone and did, but he didn't. And then people need to give Shep some more credit he's got because half our defense is gone. We need to really the conditioning staff more than we need to look at Shep because for what he had, he's pretty darn good for his first year, I would say. But like I said, this is so I could be irrelevant.
All right, Malachi, I appreciate the call, bro. Some of your audio was going in and out. Well, like you said, man, he was new. He's new to being a Lions fan, right? And I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. I wouldn't mind giving Shep another opportunity because I feel like Brad failed him. He's now, instead of being one move away, we're multiple moves away. We need either a left or a right tackle. We also need a center, and we're still going to need some guards as well, unless some of the guys we got on the team can already do it. And we haven't even talked about the defense. And just think, if you would have got a defensive guy, then we could be talking about just focusing on that offensive line and putting all our attention over there. So I appreciate the call. All right, so whose father passed away? Somebody passed away? What is that? All right, so who is Trinity Benson? Trinity Benson was a wide receiver in 2021 or 2 that the Detroit Lions traded for from the Denver Broncos. He was supposed to be the next best thing. I'm going to tell you what, that was a sign of Brad Holmes' ability. All right, one thing I don't like about this system is it's making me press 1 to answer the call, and I don't like that. I'm going to keep it a buck. Bro got thrown into it and did pretty good with what he had. And like I was saying earlier, I agree. You gave Aaron Glenn 4 years. While you made the team better, like Brian Branch was an addition, Kirby Joseph addition, Aiden Hutchinson addition. You wind up bringing back Marcus Davenport, Levi Onwuzurike. You had a hurt Aleem McNeil, right? So I agree 100%. Okay, so Fat Trucking Guy says nobody knew Ben Johnson was a good OC until he got the chance. Okay, Trucking Guy, appreciate the super chat, and I said just as much. However, this is my concern, and if I wasn't clear about that, I apologize. Let me clear it up now. My concern is that you went into Ben Johnson in year 2, right? You got to grow with Ben Johnson. You got to go through growing pains with Ben Johnson. The Lions have to get this right. They have to get this right. If they don't get it right, there is no tomorrow. So you are 100% correct. My reaction was based off of in year 6. We're talking about Ben Johnson in year 6. Like, that's what we're doing. So that's why I reacted the way the way that I did. All right. So Okay, so Brian Flores is Ravens or Raiders' new OC. I don't know. I feel like he could be a coach. I feel like he could be a coach. He bounced between Denver and Detroit several times, says Ben Foster. Who are we talking about? They're just talking generally about generations have come and gone with no Super Bowl. All right, so the number that I left in front of you all, that number, save it into your phone. You can text or call and leave a voicemail. My goal is to bring some of those voicemails, have like a segment dedicated to those voicemails. And I'll make a dedicated video talking about it. And I would say, keep them under a minute so that way I can do multiple and we'll bring in a segment. To be fair, we now have to grow again. Brad got us in another full rebuild. Well, that retool, hey, D-Mac, what's up, John? That retool that he was talking about when he first got here, that's what we're in right now. That's exactly what we're in right now. Steve with the super chat, appreciate you, big dog, says off topic, but unfortunately the Bears will win a playoff game because game with Ben Johnson because the Packers are trash. Bears fans are going to clown Lions fans. Well, you know what? That's okay. And as long as they don't get to a Super Bowl, that's okay. What would be great is if they made it to the NFC Championship game and blew a lead. That would be fantastic. It would be great. I think that would be worse than getting bounced out in the first round, to be honest with you. All right, nephew. Hey, what's the first what number are you, bro? Are you 392? We'll bring in nephew, Eric. We're going to bring him in, and then we'll wrap up the show. So Dan has technically never hired a good OC or DC. Not technically, unless you count elevating Ben Johnson. Cliff Kingsbury is available for now. Yes, he is available for now. We'll never hear the end of it. Ben proved himself, man. I hate Chicago, but the truth is the truth. I mean, look, I don't have to, Ben, he don't have to prove nothing. He could be great or sucked. He still was a traitor. That's all it is, man. That'll never change. Okay. All right. Let me bring in nephew's voicemail. Bro, it was like 7 seconds, bro. Oh, I know exactly what you about to say. Bro, I know exactly what Hey, look. I already know what you about to say, bro. 7 seconds? I know exactly what this about. I know exactly what this is gonna be. Oh man. All right, I'm gonna take a guess. It got something to do with Denzel Washington. Let's see if I'm right.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
No, there was no voicemail, bro. You know what, bro? I don't like this system. Oh, here we go. Never mind. All right, here we go. I found it. Why does it leave me 2 voicemails?
Yo, it's Eric, aka nephew. I'm just calling my Lions take. For always like Michigan. Yeah, So, fan of the show. A while, but watched for like 3 years. Yeah, man, love the content. Huge fan. I can work with you in the future, Unc. So, yeah, man, just chilling in my car. So yeah, happy to see John Morton. I'm free from the shackles of John Morton, Mr. Morton. So yeah.
Hey, appreciate that, man. Okay, I thought it was 7 seconds. Okay, so Malachi, that wasn't you, man. That is this. That's one thing about digital stuff, man. It kind of backfires on you and goes from there. Appreciate the love from everybody. Appreciate the content. It is the audio of this situation, so it was doing that. So we might have to go back. We might have to scrap this whole thing. Some came through really good. Some came through whack, but it was a good test experience. I can always go back to the older system as well, which was great. But I ran into a problem like connecting it to my mixer. So with that being the case, man, look, I appreciate y'all. What a day. What a day. We fire. And I'm going to tell you why I'm concerned. This took me by surprise. I'm concerned a little bit because in a year that you have to win, David Blau is even on on your radar. David Blau left 2 years ago. He joined the Washington staff. He was done playing quarterback. If you take out, I guess, sentimental value, I don't know how to feel about that. I've always liked David Blau. I think I remember when he carved us up with the Browns traded him or drafted him as a 7th round pick. He beat us in the preseason. Matt Patricia and Bob Quinn actually traded for David Blau. And then David Blau stuck around and was on our team for a little bit, I think, right? He was on our team for a year or two. And then I think we went with Nate Sutfeld and stuff like that. I'm just a little concerned with in a year that you have to win, in a year that you should be feeling pressure, some type of hot heat on the seat. Dan Campbell is not on the same level of Brad Holmes and heat, in my opinion, but this is messing up on your next offensive coordinator hire will put you there. And that's something I don't want to see any of these guys on the hot seat, but we already know who we're getting with Dan Campbell. I mean, Brad Holmes. We know who we're getting. Yeah. So, Lord. Okay. All right. So that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. Did not think I was going to go 2 hours. Nephew, if you make content, bro, and you get, you start making some content and, stuff like that, then we could talk about something, because I would love to talk about the Pistons, but I don't know if I'm going to have time. So I know you be on like Piston Spaces and stuff doing your thing. So I know it's early. I know my reaction might have been a little overreacted, but I don't think it was. So, yeah, with that being said, man, I will catch up with y'all. Don't forget, subscribe to Syndicate Sports Detroit. We will be on live tomorrow. Yes, tomorrow's Wednesday, so we have a live stream. And, yeah, that just threw everything off, man. But I will catch you guys soon. Go Lions. Oh, yeah. You thought it was over, man. It ain't over just yet, but we had a show today, man. Shout out to everybody that came out tonight. Shout out to the Super Chats as well, because I lost my AdSense for this one. If you're late to the show, man, breaking news. In the same show, the Lions, we broke the news that the Lions decided to fire Johnny Morton. We're doing our thing. We're having a great conversation about Brad Holmes, and then we get straight up blindsided by news of a new potential coordinator for the Lions. If you're just now joining us, man, or you caught the show at the end, we broke the news that the Lions' first potential interview for OC is none other than David Blau. That's right, I didn't stutter, not this time anyway. David Blau, former Detroit Lions quarterback. He spent some time with the Washington Commanders as the QB assistant coach, something like that. And the Lions decide to do what Ian Rappaport said, a sneaky good move? Or am I confusing him with somebody else? He said a sneaky hot name, sneaky good move. It's all the same. Maybe he watches their content. But I'm a little concerned because we just got finished talking about, are the Detroit Lions good? And I don't know if David Blau gives me cause for concern, man. I know he's not hired. I know we're in the early stages, but I don't know. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. So the Detroit Lions are in their offseason for the first time in 3 years. We are not playing this week. And already some moves have been made. I don't know if they're sneaky good, though, but they were made nonetheless. One of those moves is firing offensive coordinator John Morton. The picture you see there. He needed to go. There was no way around it. We had a conversation about Calvin Shepard. Should he get more time, or has he also worn out his welcome? I think if you have an experienced offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, you gotta take a chance on them, because both of these gentlemen are running out of time, and they might not have long if they mess this up. But I appreciate everybody rocking with me tonight. Don't forget to subscribe to Syndicate Sports Detroit. Just type it in the search bar. You'll pop up. I don't do sneaky good moves. I don't sell Omaha steaks. I heard they nasty. should I use the affiliate code? I don't know, man. Should I say, when I hear Omaha, I think of Peyton Manning. Is he responsible for the stakes? I don't know. So we got a long way to go before the Lions season resumes, and I don't know what to do. I don't know how to feel. I know one thing, they can't mess this up. D-Mac says, bring back Caldwell as OC. Oh, man. Jim Caldwell on the beach somewhere where I'm about to go, because the Lions invited me to Cabo. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be sitting right next to Brad. We leave Thursday evening. I've already talked to the wife. She said it was okay. She just told me, make sure you come back in one piece. I told her I would try. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. I hope you have a great day. Thank you for everybody for the super chats, the kind words, man, and for making me the #1 independent YouTube creator that talks Detroit Lions. Outside of It's Too Easy, I do sports, news, and analysis. He shows you the inside life, him and Katie. Appreciate everybody, man, and I will check you out later. Take care of yourself and each other, and as always, go Lions.